Now here we've got the responsibilities of each party in the engagement laid out. You can see we've got the left column for the auditor's responsibility and the right column for the actions that are the responsibility of management. Generally speaking, the auditor's responsibility is to provide a good audit. And then management's responsibility is for the financial statements. Let's run through this. So determining if the financial statements are free of material misstatements. Yep. So management prepares them. The auditor is supposed to provide reasonable assurance that they're free of material misstatement. Management has to provide employee assistance to the auditor. Auditor has to assess audit risk, which we've got a whole lesson on that. So the auditor has to follow generally accepted auditing standards. That could be one they try to trip you up on the exam, is telling you that the auditor needs to follow GAAP. Nope. The financial statements are prepared in conformity with GAAP, and then the auditor uses GAAS to audit them. Again, just to reiterate that, the accounting principles are how the financial statements are prepared, and the auditing standards are how the audit is conducted. Management's responsible for establishing internal controls, and while the auditor is not providing an opinion on internal controls, and the auditor can, it's called an integrated audit, right? We've got that whole lesson on there. The auditor still has a responsibility to obtain an understanding of those internal controls. While the auditor has to test compliance with laws and regulations, management is the one that actually has to follow those laws and regulations. Lastly, the auditor furnishes the representation letter, and management provides that representation letter. Now, that representation letter is generally going to be drafted up by the auditor and then just signed by management, and it's pretty standard. Says, hey, and I've got examples in the management's responsibility section, but it says we're in charge of preparing financial statements, and it just outlines everything that we're kind of going over here. Lastly, both parties are responsible for establishing the timing of the audit. It's not up to only the auditor or only management to say, oh, okay, I've got availability next week. Let's do the audit next week. It's both parties who have responsibility for dealing with scheduling and making sure it actually gets done.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.